Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Today, what I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to keep the video a little bit shorter than the last couple I've done. I've done a couple that were over an hour. Sometimes when I start talking, I'll go off from one subject to another. But I'm going to try to keep the video a little bit shorter today. But what I want to talk about is it was a comment that was made on one of my videos. A guy had asked, "Can I do a video on how has something to do with how Mexicans hate their European heritage or something like that, you know." But anyways, I myself, I don't. I'm gonna only talk for me, not everyone else. So I myself don't feel that way. I don't think about that stuff. I try to think more with common sense. As far as that goes, what you're taught in history is about how the Spanish came in and raped and pillaged the Aztecs and all that, all that stuff they put in the history, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, that did happen. I mean, I'm not saying that didn't happen, but if you think logically, if you think with your brains and not let other people tell you how to think or what to think, you'll realize that, like nowadays, women have always looked for a man that was provider, strong, that could take care of them. It's always been that way. The men were providers for women. So now you got to go back to when the Spanish when the Spanish first came. What, 1492? I think that was day 1492. Them women and the men thought that the Spanish were gods. Here they are running around in loincloths, things that they've made, the stuff they made, their headdresses, and all these things that they had, their jewelry, and all they made all that stuff, with natural resources. Then the Spanish come and they have this armor on their body. They have these armor on their heads, their helmets, shields, all these things that they came with, their swords made out of metals. The women and the men thought that they were gods. They had never seen anything like that. They came on these giant ships. They had never seen anything like that. When they came, yes, they did fuck a lot of things up. They took a lot. They did rape women. They killed the men. But not every single woman was raped. It's impossible to say that. Like I said, women have always looked to men as providers. Now here come these men that they think are gods. So some of these women voluntarily went with them. It's common sense. I mean, come on. But there's people out there that really believe that the Spanish came and just raped everybody. They killed the men, they raped every woman. That was it. It's not true. Your common sense will tell you that's not true. Women have always been the same as far as looking to men as providers. What better provider is there than this man that you think is a god? So I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it's not the way you're making it seem. Okay. And yeah, Mexicans do. I hear it. I've heard it so much in my life. They fucking hate the Spanish. It's always like, fuck the Spanish. They're fucking rapists. I guess they're saying the same shit that they say Donald Trump says. They're mad at Donald Trump. They say he said every Mexican's a rapist and all other shit, which that was never said, but you know. But they also hate the Spanish, saying that the Spanish were rapists and all this stuff. They stole from the Aztecs and all this other shit. Yeah, they did do a lot of fucked up things. You know what I mean? They set out to conquer the world, and they fucking did. In all honesty, they did, because you look at how many different countries speak Spanish. You go to all these different countries, Cuba, Puerto Rico, the U.S., Central America, South America, and you'll see Spanish architecture. They were everywhere. Um, but they fought against others and they lost, and they moved. They took their shit and left. And they left who we are behind. To say that you hate the Spanish is the same thing as a person that is born half black, half white, and says he hates his white side or hates his black side. And usually that's what happens with people that are mixed. Um, they usually side with one side of the family more than the other. They're usually proud of one thing more than the other. Like I have a stepson. He's half white, half Mexican, and I've told him before, like, be proud of who you are, both sides of you. Don't just be proud of being Mexican or just proud of being white. You have two different things that you can be, two different nationalities you can be proud of. So don't just be proud of one thing. Be proud of both. But yeah, Mexicans do say that they hate the Spanish and all this other shit. But when they're saying that, even when Chicanos say it, Spanish, Chicanos, doesn't matter. They all say it. Not all, most. But when they say it, how are they saying it? You're saying it in one of the conqueror's languages, Spanish or English. Spanish, English, European languages, two European languages. You're saying how much you hate the Spanish in either one of their languages. You hate it so much, why haven't you learned Aztec? Why are you still speaking their language? Why are you still speaking the language of the conqueror? Why are you still using the last name of the conqueror? Why are you still using the first names of the conqueror, since you hate it so much? This shit makes no sense. You have no argument. You have no argument when you are speaking in one of the conqueror languages. So, if you're going to get on here and say anything, like I said, another video, be respectful. That's, we should discuss these things, because to me it's stupid. It's pretty stupid. Yes, the Aztecs were they were powerful, very powerful. They were very smart. I mean, look at all the things that they've done, all the things that they still find in the jungles and stuff, the pyramids and all these things. Look at all the things that they made, the calendars and all these things like that with the Mayans and all that. These people were very smart, but so were the Spanish, you know, because they were fucking conquerors. They came over here and conquered shit, and the thing is that people, and as I say people, I say our people, always talk that shit about the land. The Spanish came, they took the land from the Aztecs and all the way down to South America. Then they got their asses kicked out of here. Left their influence here, though. Now you hear people constantly saying, still, it's fucking ridiculous. How the Europeans came, they took the land. This was Mexico at one time. Why don't you guys go back to your land? Look through history. Be fucking smart before you talk. Read something. Read a fucking book. Get off the goddamn internet. Read a book. Everywhere has been conquered. We are doing it right now. Look what they did to Puerto Rico. Pretty much, Puerto Rico was left like, hey, you guys don't fucking let's you if you ain't gonna become a territory of ours, it's pretty much we'll fucking walk away from you, no trade, none of that shit, and you guys will be fucked. Other people, other countries take over you. You know what I mean? We took over Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is now U.S. territory. Cuba will be next to be a U.S. territory. Our country is little by little taking over shit. Our influence. Look what's going on over there in the Ukraine. We're sending them all the fucking weapons they needed to take over to beat the Russians. Our influence. That's just setting us deeper into that land, into that area, so we can move further and further, further in, and make Russia, which is so big, they want to compress that shit. We want to take over with our influence. We're still doing it, but we're doing it in different ways. Everywhere has been conquered. The Russians conquered a lot of land. The Chinese, I mean the Japanese, the Chinese, they want to do the same thing with Taiwan. They want to take over. They want to take it over. They want to conquer that land. It's still happening to this day, and it will continue to happen. Everywhere has been conquered by somebody. That's just the way it goes. Somebody's gonna win. Somebody's gonna lose. So yeah, the thing is that our people do say that stupid ass shit, and I don't think that way. I don't believe that way. I have to say, like, hey, yes, the Aztecs were warriors, but so were the fucking Spanish. You know, look at the territory that they had taken over at that time. Go down to Louisiana, see all the influence down there in the South and other countries. So if you're gonna come on here and say something, just remember, before you say it, you're gonna either say it or you're gonna type it in one of the conqueror's languages. You can choose which one you want. But to sit here and just constantly hear people say, like, these people are fucking, they were rapists and they did this, this, and that. You guys kind of sound like fucking what you say, like, about Donald Trump. You're saying the same fucking thing. It's not true. They didn't rape everybody. You got to go back and look at the Native Americans too. The ones from North America. How some of them Native women went with the Europeans voluntarily, helped them, guided them throughout the U.S. And there wasn't just one. There was multiple that are well known in books that helped the Europeans because they wanted to be with them. They didn't have to get raped. They went with them voluntarily. It's just, women are gonna go with the men that can provide for them, who got the most. You know, Spanish came, they had all this shiny shit on. You know what I mean? Thought they were gods. It kind of reminds me of there's a movie called The Breaks, where this pimp is talking to these two guys. It's a comedy movie from the '90s, um, and he's talking to the pimp is talking to these two guys, and he says, "Do you know why pimps talk with their hands, always doing this, pointing this way, and doing shit like this?" And they're like, "No, why?" He goes, "Because hoes like shiny shit." You know, it's a fact. They liked all that shit these guys had on. You know what I mean? They thought they were gods. They had metal on their bodies and shit like that. They rode on fucking horses. Never seen anything like that. They were attracted to that. So not all of them were raped. Um, and the same thing goes for nowadays. Women are attracted to providers. So they were providers back then. You have providers now. And it's just the same old story, just a different time. So again, like to that person that asked about this video or to do this video, I don't feel that way. I don't. I think with common sense, I don't believe that all the Spanish were bad people, and I don't run around saying fuck the Spanish and and they're all rapists and all that other shit. I don't run around saying that kind of shit. That's stupidity. People are not really thinking. They hear something. It's the same thing. You hear things on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Like the other day, yesterday, there was a post where somebody on Instagram. It's a page that tries to put out news. I think it's called People of Los Angeles or some shit like that. And they put out some shit saying that they're trying to pass a law where um, with all this smash and grab stuff. If an employee tries to stop people from doing a smash and grab, the company can be fined like $12,000 or $18,000 or some shit for trying to stop somebody from doing smash and grab. And they posted this, right? It's something they put on the books. So they're gonna put on the books. They're gonna try to get it signed, right? So if you go into the comments though, you'll see all these people like you could tell they did not go and research the shit because they were like, oh my God, how fucked up is it gonna be? And this is what our world's coming to, yada yada yada. If you go and look it up, it doesn't say that. It's saying workplace violence. It has to do with OSHA and some other shit, you know what I mean? It's saying if the company is forcing you to go stop somebody from doing violent crime, then the company can be sued. But a person can voluntarily do whatever the fuck they want to do. Okay, so what what people are thinking is happening, or that the article is supposed to be saying, is that it's okay. Go do smash and grabs. If somebody stops you, well, yeah, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna go to jail for the day. They're gonna give you a ticket. You're gonna get out, but now you can sue that company for $18,000 for its employee stopping you. That's not what the fucking law. That's not what that bill is. It's a lie. And they put it out there, and people were reading it and believing it. Thousands and thousands of people, and then you can go in there and see. Every once in a while, you'll see somebody say, "Why don't you go and actually read the bill?" It does not say that. Somebody even said, "Hey, it doesn't say that. You still have time to take this post down." But see, people like that will post shit, and then these dumb motherfuckers out there will think, okay, uneducated, they don't read. Hey, fuck it, I can go do smash and grabs. I'm not gonna get in trouble. If I don't get away, I get a ticket, and I can sue the company. If not, then I get away. I got all this free shit. You're influencing people to do stupid ass shit like that. So the thing is, I know one thing has nothing to do with the other, but I'm saying this because stop believing what the fuck you are being told. Research the shit. Also, think for yourself. Use common sense. Common sense will tell you that not all these women were fucking raped. They didn't come over here with bad intentions just to kill everybody. There was, hundreds of thousands of people that came over here. You think all of them were just bad people? They all just came to. They were all fucking like devils. You know what I mean? They came down here and they came down here to kill everybody and rape all the women, steal all the shit, and go back. No, they came here to conquer the land, just like we do to other people. We just do it different ways. We do it in different ways. Look at what's going on in the Ukraine. Okay, what are they saying is going on over there? The Russians are going over there, invading Ukraine, and they're raping some of the women over there. I believe that. But I don't believe it's every fucking Russian doing it. I don't believe that every Russian soldier is out there raping Ukrainian women. But people will spin that shit. Maybe two, three women have been raped. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. But you say that, and then boom, all these dumb motherfuckers like, oh, the Russians are a bunch of rapists. They're going in there. They're raping the Ukrainian women. It's not true. And that goes back to with the Aztecs and the Spanish. It's not true. Not every one of them did that. Did some of them? Yes, they did. And it happens. It was happening in fucking Vietnam. Okay? In Vietnam, American soldiers were raping Vietnamese women. Not all of them, but there was a lot of it going on. There's actually a movie about that. I don't think it's a true story, but it has to do with that, and it was called Casualties of War with Michael J. Fox and John Leguizamo and uh, Matt Dillon's brother. I can't remember his first name. Same thing. That's what they're talking about in that movie. But only some of them guys raped the women. Michael J. Fox in the movie, he wasn't doing it. He wanted no part of it. Not everybody was doing it, but it was happening in Vietnam. So American soldiers were over there doing that shit. In Mexico, the people that are helping the women and children get over here, what are they doing? They're raping some of them women. Not all of them. Some of the women and young girls are being raped, though, by the cartels. Should we blame everybody for it? See, it's the same thing when you guys are complaining about fucking Trump and he said this and he said that, and not all of us. Okay. Well, you can't say the same shit about the Spanish either. If you're saying not all Mexicans are raping the women and young women that are coming in trying to get into the United States, not all of us are doing that. Only these bad motherfuckers are doing that. Then you can't say the same shit about the Spanish. So get that shit out of your mind. Start thinking logically. It happens with everybody. Mexicans are doing it. Europeans were doing it. Americans are doing it. Russians are doing it. The Spanish are doing it. All these people, same shit. They're conquering lands. They go, some of them rape people and steal their shit. It was happening then and it's happening now. Think with your fucking brain. Don't let people tell you false shit, or you use common sense. That's all I'm saying. Use common sense. So me personally, I have nothing against the Spanish. They have a deep history. You know, they built a lot of fucking nice shit. I mean, you go into Mexico City and all that shit, and you see all that Spanish architecture over there. All the stuff that they praise over there. All the old buildings they will not knock down. They keep repairing them and repairing them and repairing them. They hate the motherfuckers that built them. All these Spanish style, what do you call it, missions and shit like that are in the U.S. and Mexico. They keep fixing them. They don't want to knock them down. Spanish architecture. They love it. They hate the motherfuckers that built it. Talk a lot of shit about the motherfuckers that built it, but look at all the beautiful shit they've done. You know what I mean? Yeah, they've done some fucked up things too, but so have we. So have Mexicans. So have Russians and Afghanis, Pakistanis, everybody. Indians, doesn't matter. The Native Americans were doing it to each other. They were raping and pillaging each other. That's the way that the world goes. So stop blaming one race, or blaming everybody in that race for what some did long, long time ago. You're here. You wouldn't fucking be here if it wasn't for them. So what are you bitching about? What are you complaining about? You would not fucking be here with that Spanish last name, or your Spanish first name, or your Spanish language, or English, your other European language. So like I said, if you're gonna come on here and say something, be respectful. I'll answer your questions. But just remember, when you do, if you want to talk some dumb shit, make sure that you realize that you're doing it. You're either talking or you're typing in one of the conqueror languages. And with that, I'm gonna end this video. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And one more time, thank you, Dubs, for helping me out, for all the times you helped me out as far as the equipment that I need to get, and for sending people my way. I appreciate you, and I owe you a beer or two or three, whatever. It don't matter. Matter of fact, I owe you a fucking steak. Come around one of these days, I'll take you to a spot and get you a nice steak, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, and thank all you guys for watching.